Good morning, dear students. In instrumental techniques of food analysis, we have learned about the need of food analysis in last lecture. In that, we have learned about the need of food analysis regarding the food safety, need of food analysis in food quality. Okay, in that we have learned about the characterization of the raw material as well as maintaining the properties of food during the processing or online process control, as well as checking the final quality of food product or final food product. Okay, in this lecture we will learn the last topic of need of food analysis, that is research and development. Need of analysis in the research and development in food manufacturing sector. Okay, as you know, in recent years there have been significant changes in the preference of the consumers for foods. Food should be healthier, high of a higher quality and lower cost, and should be more exotic. So individual food manufacturers must respond rapidly to these changing preferences of consumers in order to remain competitive within the food industry. To meet these demands, food manufacturers often employ a number of scientists whose primary objective is to carry research that will lead to the development of new products, the improvement of existing products, and thus meet the changing preferences of the consumers regarding the food. So such activities contributes in the area of the research and development in food manufacturing sectors. Many scientists working in the universities, government research laboratories, and large food companies carry out basic research. Experiments are designed to provide information that leads a better understanding of the role of the ingredients as well as processing operations, which play very important role in determining overall properties of food. Research is mainly directed towards investigating the structure and interaction of food ingredients and how they are affected by changes in environment such as temperature, pressure, uh, mechanical agitation, etc. Basic research tends to be carried out on a simple model systems with well-defined composition and properties, rather than a real food with complex structure and composition. Okay, so that the researcher can focus on a particular aspects of the system or particular property or aspect of the food. So scientists working for food companies or ingredient suppliers, okay, usually carry out the research on the product development. Food scientists working in this area use their knowledge of food ingredients as well as processing operations to improve the properties of existing food products or to develop new products. Okay, in practice, there is a great deal of overlap of existing food products or to develop a new food products. Okay, so with the basic researchers providing information that can be used by the product developers to rationalize or optimize food composition and properties. Okay, so in both fundamental research or in development of the product, development and use of analytical techniques are very important to characterize the overall properties of ingredient or to identify the different types of effects of the processing on that ingredient or properties of the food. So this is the importance of the analytical techniques, okay, or instrumental analytical technique. Here we have completed the needs of food analysis. Okay. Now we will go to the next topic that is very important. What properties are analyzed in food? Okay. Means by using this instrumental techniques of food analysis, what properties of foods we are going to analyze. Analysts are interested in obtaining the information about a variety of different characteristics of the foods, including their composition, structure, physiochemical properties, as well as sensory attributes of these foods. Okay, then we will start with the composition. Okay, so to knowing the composition of any food is very important for any food technologist. Why? Because the composition of food largely determines the safety of that food. Okay, then nutritional value of that food, physiochemical properties of that food, as well as quality attributes and sensory characteristics of that food. Most foods are compositionally very complex and made up of a variety of different chemical constituents. Okay, their composition can be specified in number of ways. Okay, regarding the interest of analysis and the type of analytical techniques used. Sometimes the food technologists want to know the specific atoms of any chemical constituent contained in that food product. For example, specific atom means like number of carbons, number of hydrogen, number of oxygen, number of nitrogen, sulfur, etc. Or sometimes any food technologists want to know the specific molecules contained in that food product. For example, number of water molecules, number of water percentage in that food, sucrose, lactoglobulin, likewise. Or sometimes food technologists want to know the macromolecule content of that food, or macronutrient and micronutrient, for example fat, protein, carbohydrates, minerals, vitamins, etc. Okay, so composition, what properties are analyzed in this composition is very important. To know the composition, we have to go for the various types of instrumental techniques of food analysis. Okay, then we will go to the next property to be analyzed. Next property is structure. To analyze the structure of any chemical constituent. Okay, so these instrumental techniques are used to study the structural organization of the components within a food, which plays very important or large role in determining the physiochemical properties of the food. For example, very common example, that is glucose and fructose are structural isomers. Okay, they have same molecular formula, but they are differ in their structure. But because of that difference in their structure, minor difference in their structure, the physiochemical properties of both got changed. Okay, because sweetness of fructose is much more than the glucose. This is because of the only difference in their structure. So it is very important to analyze the structure of any chemical component of the food for understanding physiochemical properties of that food. Okay, hence two foods that have the same compositions can have very different quality attributes if their constituents are organized differently. Okay, okay, so the structure of food can be examined at a number of different levels. Molecular structure. Ultimately, the overall physiochemical properties of food depend on the types of molecule, types of different type of molecule present in that food, and their three-dimensional arrangement or their three-dimensional structure. Their interaction, different type of interaction between them or with each other. It is therefore important for food scientists to have analytical technique to examine the structure and interactions of individual food molecules. Okay, then we will see the microscopic structure. Microscopic structure. The microscopic structure of food can be observed by microscope, not by the unaided eye, and consists of the regions in a material where the molecules associate to form discrete phases. For example, emulsion droplets or fat crystals, protein aggregates, and small air cells, etc. Then macroscopic structure. This is the structure that can be observed by the unaided human eye. For example, sugar granules, large air cells, ricin, chocolate chips, etc. present in the food products. Okay. So in this lecture, we have learned about the need of the food analysis regarding the research and development. Okay. Then the properties to be analyzed. In this, we have learned the composition and structure. Okay. The next we will see in the next lecture, that is sensory parameter, etc. Okay, thank you very much.